Good day, friends. Hi, welcome. Today we're going to do something super exciting. At least I think it's exciting. You might have seen some videos from a couple of friends of mine here on the old YouTube. Like Yule, Rebecca, Gilbert, Leia, and who knows, even Bernadette might finish sometime.
Down, Bessie!
No, just kidding. I'm talking about the historical Disney costume challenge. I don't really know if it's a challenge. I think it was about last year or something, and I was watching Mulan for the gazillionth time. And yeah, you could say lightning struck. So yeah, like the moment when Mulan takes, spoilers, takes her father's armor to enlist in the army and cross-dresses as a Ping.
It's Ping.
Ping.
I noticed that her armor and her uniform quite looks like an 1830s silhouette, but I didn't really know what to do with that concept or that idea of a costume. So it sort of stayed on the back burner in my head, but it was still like lingering there, you know. And then my friends started talking about doing historical costumes, historical Disney costumes, and well, you know, long story short, here we are. Now, how to make a animated costume into a 3D or in real life costume was I took some inspiration from the costume that Ping wears on the super rare occasion when she visits the Disney parks. So when it comes to textures and like costume construction, etc., and obviously like watching a movie a few times. Yeah, the biggest thing I'm gonna change about is that she's not gonna wear pants, but I'm gonna give her a skirt, and I'm gonna lose the chin thingies, you know, thingies. So yeah, but basically the whole outfit, you know, you enhance a few things, you know, like the big sleeves and stuff, but basically it's already there.
And I'll bet the ladies love a man in armor.
I'm going to split this project into 2 videos, mainly because I can, but also to give myself a little bit more time to work on this costume, because I already talked about this in my community tab, but also on Instagram. I had some medical issues that prevented me from sewing for a while, so I had to take a break. But I'm back. And I'm here to participate in historical Disney costume challenge.
After cutting and preparing the linen pattern pieces, I could start on assembling the top of the tunic. For the top, I simply serged the seam edges and pressed them open. I'm using a thin dark green cotton for the decorative edges of the tunic. I always like to trim my seam edges unevenly to get a softer transition on the pressed edge. After pressing the seam allowance to the linen side, I top stitch the seam down 1 mm from the edge. This helps the cotton to fold over nicely and make for a neat finish after pressing. Once pressed, I could top stitch the other side down. Moving on to the skirt, I stitched the two side seams together. To accommodate the split at the hem, I'm enclosing the seam allowance on itself, by pressing the seam allowance towards the stitch line on both sides and then pressing the seam open. Because at this point I'm not able to fit the tunic and thus not know for sure what length the tunic skirt will be, and therefore not knowing where the splits at the hem run, I temporarily basted the seams down until I could fit the tunic and then permanently top stitch them down. Once both the top and skirt were prepped, I could join the two together. For the leg of mutton sleeves, I used the same green cotton and technique for the cuffs. For tight-fitting cuffs, I leave some space in the seam allowance so I can fit my hand through, but use enclosures to make it fit snug. I'm using 2 basting threads to gather the top of the sleeve. Once gathered, I could set the sleeves in, distributing the gathers evenly at the top of the sleeves. Once the sleeves were set, I could move on to the skirt. I sewed 2 ribbons in each sleeve to attach the sleeve puffs to. Now you've seen me make this skirt many a times on this channel, so I won't go too much into detail about this. It's basically a 3 meter long rectangle pleated down to my waist measurement. I'll link the 3 tutorials on pockets, pleats and waistbands in the description down below. And all the underlayers are now done, with the exception of the hem of the tunic. The tunic closes by tie strings, which at the time of editing this video have been replaced by a hook and bar closing. The tying knots were a little too bulky considering all the layers that still go on top of this. And because the tunic turned out to be a little bit too big after fitting, I could simply take it in by removing the space a tied bow takes in. And that's it for today's video, guys. In 2 weeks I will post the making of the armor pieces that go on top of these base layers, which I'm currently still working on. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!